Welcome everyone to the 2018-19 Maloney's League. I will be your commissioner this season, replacing the orangutan man who turned up for one video, demanded banter and was then never seen nor heard from again. He of course replaced the cowboy commissioner who was extremely active for a number of weeks and did so much damage that the league shut down. So yeah, very low bar for me really to try and jump over, which I'm really happy about. Let's look at last season in review quickly here. My understanding is that the trophy has already formally been handed over between Jake and Mr. Richard Farnan, the new league champion. So a round of applause please everybody for our champion Richard Farnan. Thank you. It's also my understanding that Richard is the golden flip-flop holder this season too, an unprecedented event, holding both at the same time. Less impressive when you consider that he just captained Mo Salah for the entire season. Still, nonetheless, round of applause everyone. Thank you. Thank you. On to the commiserations now, unfortunately. The corduroy title, named for the most boring fabric and awarded to the most boring player in the league, this season will go to Paul Shotton, the cobbler, who shall henceforth be referred to as the corduroy cobbler. And finally, the Umbro title, awarded to the worst player in the league this season, is going unfortunately to Spencer. Umbro Spencer, as henceforth he shall be known. With that out of the way, let's look at the draft order. To prevent any funny business, I have recruited two of the league's top players and one of the league's also-rans to help me out. First of all, we're going to go to Jake Bainbridge, and he is going to provide us with a random list of names. Over to you, Jake.
Yep, thanks Commissioner. What I've done, I've decided to do the names by putting everybody's name on the back of one of these cards, and I'm going to give them a good mix up, and then we're going to draw from there. So, it's nicely shuffled. Chuck it down, give them a mix. Okay, so, here we go. First of all, Spencer. Second, we've got Steve. Third, James. Fourth is Nell. Fifth is me. Next is Farney. Sixth. Seventh is Shotton. Eighth is Adam. Thanks.
Thanks for that, Jake. Here we now have a list of names in random order of league participants. Next up, we'll go to Paul Shotton, who's going to give us a random list of numbers will be assigned to these names. Over to you, Paul.
Good evening, Commissioner. As requested, the numbers 1 to 8 in random order. 5, 2, 8, 6, 7, 4, 1, 3. Now you can listen to that back and check them off to make sure I haven't missed any. Bye bye.
Thanks for that, Paul. As you can see, we now have a list of names and numbers. The number next to your name is your darts video number. What does that mean? Well, what that means is Mr. Richard Farnan has thrown 8 groups of 3 darts. He has recorded the scores. If your video contains the highest score, you get first pick in the draft. If your video contains the lowest score, you get last pick in the draft. Everything else in between is very self-explanatory. So over to you, Richard, with the first video, and this one is for Paul Shotton. Thank you.
Okay, whoever's got number 1, this is your throw. Fuck. Shit. That is shit. So you can see a solid 5 there for number 1. Sorry, whoever's number 1.
So that's a 5 for Paul. Next up we have Steve.
Okay, so that was number 1. Here comes number 2. Can't be much worse. $45. All right. Not bad. Yeah. Oh.
And a 45 for Steve. That's a significant improvement, but still not a very good score. Next up, we have Adam.
Okay, so we've had 5, 45, here comes number 3. Fucking hell. Fuck's sake. Terrible again, 23. You see that? Yeah.
A 23 for Adam, so perhaps 45 was a good score. Next up, we have Farney.
Okay, I've not thrown darts for a while, as you can see, so hopefully some bigger scores than 45. Fuck. 1, 5, 7. Fuck me. That's dreadful.
I apologise, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't realise this was the first time Richard had ever played darts. That is a 7. Next up is Spencer.
Okay, here comes number 5. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Got 1 in the board, 20.
A 20 for Spencer. Next up we have Nell.
Okay, number 6. That's not even in. 20. 32.
And the scores are creeping back up. There's a 32 for Nell. Next up we have Jake.
Okay, it's quite embarrassing now. Number 7. 18. 5. 20. 38. 43. 43.
So close to a high score there. Final video is going to James. 45 to beat for the first pick in the draft. 5 to beat for the last pick in the draft.
Okay, last one. 180 guaranteed. 1. 20. 20. 41, not bad, 2 20s there. Right, I'll take a picture of the final scores in a minute. You can see that one. Hold on, I didn't take a picture of the other one. Yeah, there you go.
So to James goes a 41. Almost good enough for first, but not quite. So with the list complete, let's read out the draft order. First pick will go to newcomer Steve. Second pick will go to Jake. Third pick will go to James. Fourth pick will go to Nell. Fifth pick will go to Adam. Sixth pick to Spencer. Seventh pick to Farney. And eighth pick to Sean. Thank you all for your help in completing this video. And to everyone, good luck. Let's have a good season. Let's try not to have to start a new league in a couple of months. That would just be great. Yes, so you're all now dismissed. I suggest you go away and watch each other's draft videos and get prepared for the draft tomorrow. Details of the timing for that will be sent out in a WhatsApp text. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.